Hey everybody, I wanted to share a couple things that the Lord keeps laying on my heart. Okay, and I know I talked about it when I was doing a video before the sun came up. And now we're bombing places. So let's go to Matthew 24. We need to all hear these things. Okay, Matthew 24. Then Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came up to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said to them, "Do you not see all these things? Assuredly I say to you, not one stone shall be left here upon another that shall not be thrown down." It's also in Luke 19:44. Now as he sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, asking, "Tell us, when will these things be?" That's question number one. "And what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age?" That's question number two. And Jesus answered and said to them, "Take heed that no one deceives you." Okay, obviously that means there's going to be a lot of people deceiving you. And right now, government is setting itself up as God. It's happening. "For many will come in my name, saying, 'I am the Christ,' and will deceive many. Those who come with the message of salvation and they have the understanding, but it can't be your understanding. It's got to be their understanding. Come to me, I found the Christ. He's over here. He's over here. He's over here. He's always somewhere else when he said the kingdom is in you. Okay, in John 14, it says that he and the Father will take residence in you, those who love him. So that's where the kingdom is. That's where he's returning. Here now. "And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you're not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." And now why does he tell us these things are happening? So when we see him happen, we can believe he was telling us the truth. "For nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in various places." Famines, that's starting everywhere because people that are locked down aren't able to do any of their farming. Lots of livestock being slaughtered, and everybody's favorite scientist is buying up all the farmland in America. Pestilences, sicknesses. Come on, guys, pay attention. Wow. All these are the beginning of sorrows, and they will deliver you up to tribulation and kill you. "And you will be hated by all nations for my name's sake." He's telling that to the believers because, look, we're telling you plainly what's going on. But the people that hate the church and hate God, the people that hate God, they don't want to hear it. It happens right in front of their eyes. They see it all unfolding before them. But nope, it's not what it is. It's predictive programming. It's this, it's that. That isn't, okay, predictive programming, whatever you want to put out, they're making it look an awful lot like this entity from Satan is coming here and about to take everything over. You paying attention? "And then many will be offended. They'll betray one another and will hate one another." Yeah, they will do that, and it's funny. They don't, the people that hate God, they still need to set up a God of their own. So they've made it either their own intellect or science or technology or government, right? And it depends. It all depends on what God is going to best suit them in the particular debate that they're in. Like I saw someone, because the rollout of the vaccine started, and that's not a vaccine, by the way, it's gene therapy, and it's probably the mark of the beast, and I'm not getting anywhere near it. But so this person has a real problem with the fact that a cashier at a grocery store feels like he has just as much right to the vaccine as a teacher does. Now, granted, because this person happens to be a teacher, his response to that was, "Dude, I get that everybody should get this, but do you really think that your job is just as, there's a reason why I'm called essential." Whew. So government God said that you have a higher seat at the table, so you bow down to government God because that one agrees with who you are, and you're ready to kill the other because your job makes you more important. These things are not good. This is not a good way to think, but this is how people think. But this is someone who hates God and knows that he's not real, but he has his own God. His intellect. As long as it agrees with him, it's all good. That's how it works. "Then many false prophets will rise up and deceive many." Many false prophets all over the place. Everywhere you look, there's false prophets. Most of them work in the media, but they are deceiving many. "And because lawlessness will abound, the love of many will grow cold." Everyone's being left lost. We're not able to see what's going on. Lawlessness is abounding everywhere, and the love of many does grow cold. And if there was any love left, put the mask on, hide your dirty face. I'm not going to let you smile at someone and try to bring any love back. "But he who endures to the end shall be saved." Thank you, Jesus. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a witness to all the nations, and then the end will come. Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, whoever reads this, let him understand. Then those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let him who's on the housetop not go down to take anything out of his house, and let him who is in the field not go back to get his clothes. But woe to those who are pregnant and those who are nursing babies in those days, and pray that your flight may not be in the winter or on the Sabbath. For then there will be great tribulation, such as not been since the beginning of the world until this time. No, nor ever shall be. Read Daniel, chapter 9. And unless those days were shortened, no flesh would be saved. If the days weren't shortened, no flesh would be saved. Time is speeding up. Doesn't everybody see that? The days are being shortened so that some flesh will make it through this. But for the elect's sake, those days will be shortened. Then if anyone says to you, look, here is the Christ, or there, do not believe it. For false Christs and false prophets will rise and show great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. So something is going to come with great signs and wonders. And it's going to happen after everybody can't go any further with the depravity. And this place has gotten so disgusting and so filthy and so full of blood, death, destruction, and murder. They're going to bow down to a fake God. They will, through signs and wonders, and then get ready for the real death and destruction to begin. See, I've told you beforehand, therefore, if they say to you, look, he's in the desert, do not go out. Or look, he's in the inner rooms, do not believe it, because he told you he's within you. You better learn what this means, and you better learn his word, because his return is at the Battle of Armageddon. You really might not make it there. You need to figure this stuff out now. For as the lightning comes from the east and flashes to the west, so also will be the coming of the Son of Man. And when he does that, that's when you're going to get raptured. For wherever the carcass is, there the eagles will be gathered together. That's not really the eagles. That's more the vultures. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened, the moon will not give its light, and the stars will fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens will be shaken. The sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven, and then all the tribes of the earth will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he'll send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they'll gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Now learn this parable from the fig tree. When its branch has already become tender and puts forth leaves, you know that summer is near. So you also, when you see all these things, know that it is near at the door. Assuredly, I say to you, this generation will by no means pass away till these things take place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will by no means pass away. But of that day and hour no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so also will it be in the coming of the Son of Man. The days of Noah are interesting. We'll touch on that. For as in the days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered the ark, and did not know until the flood came and took them all away. So also will be the coming of the Son of Man. Then 2 men will be in the field, one will be taken and the other left. 2 women will be grinding at the mill, one will be taken and the other left. Watch therefore, for you do not know what hour your Lord is coming. But know this, that if the master of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched and not allowed his house to be broken into. Therefore you also be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect. Who then is this faithful and wise servant, whom his master made ruler over his household, to give them food in due season? Blessed is that servant, whom his master, when he comes, will find so doing. Assuredly I say to you, that he will make him ruler over all his goods. But if that evil servant says in his heart, my master is delaying his coming, he's not really coming back, and begins to beat his fellow servants and to eat and drink with the drunkards, they're going to kill everybody. Get ready. The master of that servant will come on a day when he's not looking for him, and at that hour he is not aware of, and will cut him in two, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. See, we don't want to pay attention to what's going on, but it is the living rhema, right? It is the word, and it is alive, and it is a double-edged sword, and it is speaking right now to this time. The time is short. Why is the time short? Because Satan's time is up, and he knows it. So he's going to run buck wild right now, and he's going to work his things out as God lifts his hand of protection off. Because sin is rampant through this country, he lifts the hand of protection off, and then we see what government God does, the God of this world. Watch, get ready. We're about to see some stuff. It's going to be crazy. Psalm 11, verse 3 says that if the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do? Well, we're real close to that because the foundations are being destroyed from underneath of us. And if the righteous can do nothing and only the wicked can reign, guess what? Wicked, who think that's a good thing that's about to happen, you will destroy each other and shred each other to pieces and bathe in your own blood. Watch. Because another thing he gives me is a promise that I'll see 1,000 on my left and 10,000 on my right, but it won't come near me nor my house. So get ready. This is very dangerous what we're all bringing about on each other as we just bathe in lies, because we are right and the other side is wrong. That's not the heart of the Father. You better get to know him, understand who the enemy is, and understand who the Father is. You got to be able to tell these two apart. Otherwise, you're not going to know who's speaking. But know the enemy. Listen to this. Revelation 13, verses 16 through 18. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or their foreheads, that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here's wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. It's the number of a man. They've taken over the monetary system. All physical dollars that you're going to have in your hand, that stuff's going to be taken away for fear of the virus. And you better get your vaccine for that. Okay? There's a thing out there called a freedom bracelet now. Once you've got your vaccine, your gene therapy, and you're now on, team science as, oh my gosh, the death from this stuff, whatever. As you're on team science, now you've got your freedom bracelet and you're allowed to travel freely. So now you can buy, sell, trade. You can go back to work. This is where you find out who your God is. You cannot serve God and manna. But guess what? If it's going to come down to it, here's what they're going to do. They're going to take away all the physical money. There's probably going to be a barter and trade system among Christians, among those who love God. But the rest of the world, if you don't take the mark and you don't get plugged into their system, you're not going anywhere. And they're pre-programming everyone for it. If you go to Disney, the first thing you got to do to walk in there, stick out your hand so they can check your temperature, and stick out your forehead so they can check your temperature. Pre-programming. Now the freedom bracelet, that's a real thing. It exists. Check it out. It's being adopted through Canada, the EU, and Israel. Israel's gathering people up and forcing them into jail situations if they don't go and take the shot. This is what's coming. It's here now, guys. The separation of the sheep and the goats are here. Now, it's interesting. I'll talk to people and try to explain to them, we need to come back to the center. We need forgiveness and we need love, but both are so sold out to their sides. And then I try to explain what's going on, try to get people to push back into the center where Christ is, but we just can't get people to see these things, right? Well, think about the number of a man. This is why I know it's the monetary system. I'll just say it. If Bill Gates, as smart as he, I guess, is, if that genius was broke, nobody listened to a word he said. I don't claim him to be a genius. I'm just making the point. If a genius is broke, we don't listen to him. But if a fool is wealthy, you'll make him your science and medical czar. And let him force his drugs on you to change your DNA to make you healthy, as out of the other side of his mouth, he gives talks on how he is for eugenics, he is for the depopulation of the earth, because he don't want you on it, and he's got enough money to buy the earth. You don't think people like this exist? You really think they have your best interest at heart? They do not like you. But it's so hard. I talk to people. They can't see it. I don't understand why some people can't see it. But then he showed it to me today. It was interesting. So you struggle to show them, but it is beyond our power. Because in Daniel chapter 12, verse 9, and he said, go your way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the end. Okay? Let's just go over to this and check it out. Daniel 12. It's going to be good. Verse 9. And he said, go your way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. Many shall be purified, made white and refined. The people that I know that love God are pushing into his face. They're seeking holiness. They are praying. They're getting up and reading their book. I see what's going on. I can see it in the spirit. It's unbelievable. But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. I step back, I can see what's going on, and I can see that they're going to do wickedly and continue to do wickedly because they're going to be given over to a depraved mind, just as it says in Romans 1:28. And from the time that the daily sacrifice is taken away and the abomination of desolation is set up, just like it says in Matthew 24, thou shalt be 1,290 days. Blessed is he who waits and comes to the 1,335 days. But go your way till the end, for you shall rest and will arise to your inheritance at the end of the days. Oh man, we have some stuff going on out here. Okay. Now you look at Matthew 24, verses 37 through 39, as in the days of Noah. Okay, you want to know what was really going on in the days of Noah? They were blending and separating animal and beast, making chimeras, hybrids, all kinds of things, twisting all creation. Really kind of the reason why the flood came. People think, oh, they were just evil. No, they weren't just evil. They were not even real anymore. As they're doing now with all their gene therapy, they're back at it again. Go and look and see. They're doing these things. You think they're not doing these things? That's what was going on in the time of Noah. How do I know that? I've read the book of Enoch. Now, is the book of Enoch scripture? Well, I will ask you. In Matthew chapter 22, verse 29, this is Jesus speaking. He is speaking to the Pharisees. He's speaking to them how after you are out of the body and now in heaven, you are no longer given or taken in marriage because you are as the angels. You don't have that fleshly need to be filled. You're eternal. Okay? But he says in Matthew 22, verse 29, you are mistaken, not knowing the scriptures nor the power of God. Okay? Because when he told them that, you are not given nor taken in marriage, that is directly from the book of Enoch. Okay? So that means Jesus called the book of Enoch scriptures. But your church says it's not good for you to read it. Okay, but go home and watch all your whatever, This is what's going on. Now, knowledge will increase in the last days. Let's go to Daniel 12, verse 4. But you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. Many shall run to and fro. The world's really never been smaller. We have the ability to get to anywhere in the world in a matter of hours. And before, to just go to the next town would have been a serious situation you need to prepare for. We go to and fro real fast. And will knowledge increase? Man, with the power of the internet, are you kidding? The knowledge has increased beyond what we can actually understand. And that's why people that are starting to see the things like what I'm seeing is because the knowledge has increased. What knowledge? The knowledge that the church hid from people about the truth of who Jesus Christ is. And that's one of the reasons why people fall away and don't come, because they think the church is the truth. The church is not the truth. Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life, not the church. Okay, you guys are just in a wrong place. We don't understand these things, but it's okay. You can see it happening, right? These things that Daniel talked about, they're right here in front of our face. Okay. Now, nation will rise against nation. Man, where is the justice that the foundations are broken? Where is the justice? Let's look at both sides and we'll look at it. I want you to know there is no justice left. I don't care who you are, because it's been this way forever. There is no justice, regardless of your view, politically or societally. Why? Power and money. What that equals is that you decide what the justice is, and it doesn't apply to you. But if you have no power and you have no money, okay, it's a heavy-handed law, and it is justice, and it'll be, and they will lay down that law on you. Okay, because that's what Pharisees do. Do as we say, not as we do. Who are the modern Pharisees? Isn't it pretty simple? Look at the governor of California. Look at the New Jersey governor. They live free lives and do what they want. Go out to eat. Don't wear their masks. Don't do any of that stuff. But you peons better have on too, or you're going to die. You see what they're doing? You buy into it. But why do you buy into it? Because government is your God. It's unbelievable to me. I just don't get it. It's the prophets of Baal. But that's the media, both on the right and the left. They obscure the truth and give half-truths. They never give the entire thing. So the one side only sees its bubble and they can't get out of their paradigm. The other side only sees its bubble, can't get out of their paradigm. Each side has some truth. Each side has some stuff that's nasty. Nobody wants to come in together in the middle. We're so much closer in what we think about than we really understand, aside from some stuff, but I'll tell you what, you sit down and talk to people, you realize you're not quite as far off as you think. Not the way the media makes it seem, but they need it this way. See, it's just how it works. I remember the left. I remember the left when it was for the little guy. I remember the left when it made sense to me. I remember the left when they were for freedom of speech, when they were the ones down there protesting at Wall Street, when they were the ones that were trying to stop things like fascist takeover by huge companies like Microsoft and Amazon and all those other things, but now they're cool with it. I remember when they used to go and protest stuff, like the true left, the ones from back when we had the Vietnam War, JFK type people. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. He'd be run out of the Democratic Party so fast today. Man, it's something else. That's just not here. But again, because governments become your God, or science, or whatever, since that's your God and you don't want to show anybody that you're wrong, even though they do the most evil things and continue the things that you called disgusting when it wasn't your party doing it, now it's fine. Oh, again, like the kids in cages. Are we kidding? Do you know now they've got so many coming in because they've opened up the borders, right? So we've got so many coming in, they had to put up more cages, and they've told people how they used to be able to go in and take a look at what's going on in there. That's no longer legal. Under the Biden administration, they made that illegal. You can't go in there and look at the kids in the cages anymore. You can't see it. It doesn't exist. I mean, come on, guys. You know, we bombed Syria before he sent out the stimulus checks. That sounds democratic. Just continues to make the Bible more and more true. The whole world lies in the sway of the evil one. That's what 1 John 5:19 says. The whole world lies in the sway of the evil one. You got to get to this point. 1 John chapter 2, 15 through 17. Do not love the things of the world. The things of the world are passing away. This is not the place to be. You've got to let go of this. Let go of the flesh. Don't worry about it. You're going to be okay. Your flesh doesn't matter. Why do I know your flesh doesn't matter? Because Jesus said his flesh didn't matter. Your flesh don't matter. Do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Why? Because when you love the things of the world, you're all about greed. Whether you know it or not, men's hearts are continually turned towards evil. You always want to be above someone else. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world is passing away, and the lust of it. But he who does the will of God abides forever. He is the light that lights all men. That's in John chapter 1. That's why in the end, every knee will bow, every tongue will confess, because he's the light that lights all men. Okay? And he's looking for sons and daughters to wake up to the light inside and actually step into the right to be called sons and daughters. Why do I say step into the right to become called sons and daughters? Because it says that in 1 John chapter 3, 1 through 3. This is not just, oh yeah, Jesus is cool, and now I'm a son or a daughter. It doesn't really work that way, okay? But you know what? He's so good that it's almost enough to keep you from hellfire. And I won't even say that it wouldn't, because you'll put yourself there. He won't put you there, I promise you. But listen to this in 1 John chapter 3, 1 through 3. This is what his people see, and this is what his people care about. Behold, what manner of love the Father has bestowed on us, that we should be called the children of God. Therefore the world does not know us, because it did not know him. Beloved, now we are children of God, and it has not yet been revealed what we shall be. But we know that when he is revealed, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. And everyone who has this hope in him purifies himself, just as he is pure. Like I said, put myself on a fast, fasting the tongue. I don't want to speak evil. I want to speak life, but we have to speak truth. Everybody needs to know the truth, otherwise they're going to go the wrong way. John chapter 4, 21 through 24. This is where we're going to kind of finish this off at, because this is enough. But in John, these are all teachings on the Spirit, because everybody who's sold out to the flesh is about to get super nasty, but those who walk by the Spirit are going to have an unbelievable peace that just surpasses all understanding, because as the rest of the world is weeping and crying and lamenting over what they're seeing and what they've lost, we're going to be walking around in peace. John 4, 21 through 24. And Jesus said to her, Woman, believe me, the hour is coming when you will neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem worship the Father. You worship what you do not know. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. But the hour is coming, and now is, when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth, for the Father is seeking such to worship him. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and truth. Now listen, he's going to say it again, dealing with the Pharisees after he gets done telling them, you got to eat my flesh and drink my blood. By the way, the flesh is the words, the blood and the water that came from the side. That's the Holy Spirit. John 6:63. This is again Jesus speaking. It is the Spirit who gives life. The flesh profits nothing. He's speaking of his own flesh in context. The words that I speak to you are spirit, and they are life. You learn his words inside out, and now you know what the spirit and the life and the likeness of the Father is. We are told plainly that Jesus Christ is the exact likeness and nature of the Father. Walk like Jesus. Walk in love. He wasn't looking to judge people. He looked at situations, but he wasn't looking to judge people. Can you do that? Can you walk in love and not judge? Let's see if the people of God can come into the cross where they belong, because this world is going by the wayside. Don't hold on to it. The prophetic is here, and it's moving fast. Wake up and pay attention. I love you all very much.